Welcome to the Social University Podcast. We are so glad you're joining us today because we want to help business owners, entrepreneurs, and people just like you who want to build their business online. Listen, if we can do it, you can do it. So let's go.
Good morning, guys. I'm Karen Taradas with Social U, and I will invite you to join us every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. for What's Up Wednesday, where we go live to talk about social media tips, tricks, and trends so we can help solo business entrepreneurs, business people, business owners. I lost my mind there for a minute. So we can help whoever needs help with their social media now that I've stumbled all over that. Today's topic is imposter syndrome, how to address it and how to overcome it. And if you've been in business for more than a couple of years, I think it's perfectly normal to encounter imposter syndrome. I've had it in my professional career twice badly, where you look around and you wonder, how did I get in here? And when are they going to figure it out and make me leave? I think that's normal. So I got a lot of my information from one of the experts, and there are several experts. I'm not saying she is the only one, but I've been reading information from Valerie Young, who wrote Imposter Syndrome Expert. She wrote Imposter Syndrome Expert. That's what she does, and how to deal with imposter syndrome. Wow, I said that wrong so many times in so many ways. Let's try that one more time. She wrote How to Deal with Imposter Syndrome, and she is the Imposter Syndrome Expert. I like her. I liked her book. I liked her teaching. So let's just go ahead and get started. First and foremost, to stop feeling like an imposter, you have to stop thinking like an imposter. And the first step, of course, to any kind of recovery is recognition. So you have to recognize it. So what does that look like to recognize that you have it? First, a sense of belonging really fosters confidence. So if you don't have that, that's where that lack of confidence comes from. So having that sense of belonging can really help you. But a lot of times you feel, and I felt like I just got lucky when I actually worked and prepared very hard to get where I was. You also find it hard to accept praise. People will tell you did a good job or way to go, and you kind of brush it off. You apologize for yourself when you didn't actually do anything wrong. I think this is much more prevalent in women in business. And let me say, all the women who work here are required to read a book called How Women Can Succeed in the Workplace Despite Having Female Brains by Valerie Alexander. And she talks about don't apologize. Women are notoriously apologetic. And in that book, in that chapter of her book, she talks about instead of apologizing, you thank people for their patience, but stop apologizing for things you can't control. And I totally agree with that. And I did it. The first part of my corporate career, I apologized literally for everything, whether it was my fault or not. So it takes time and effort to snap out of that. You tend to hold yourself to incredibly and sometimes impossibly high standards. Your fear of failure can be paralyzing. Again, in the book by Valerie Alexander, a bad decision is better than no decision. So instead of being afraid to act, take action, because I've never had a decision that I made that was incorrect that I couldn't unmake later or change my mind about later. You avoid expressing confidence because you think people will see it as overcompensating or obnoxious. And again, if you've had a bad boss in your past, or someone who is a narcissist, or someone who is very egomaniacal or just ego-driven, it really colors how you perceive yourself when you step into that role, and you want to avoid coming across as arrogant or obnoxious at all costs. And of course, you're convinced you're not enough. So these are some common features, common traits in people who are experiencing imposter syndrome. So once you realize you have it, how do you deal with it? Okay, we're going to talk about several steps, several things that you can do to help get rid of it. First and foremost, you have to own it. And part of owning it is expressing your feelings so that you can alleviate some of the shame that you're experiencing. I know for me, when I started talking about, I can't believe I got to where I am, when I started talking about it to my friends, one friend in particular, they kind of slapped me and told me to snap out of it. It was a very moonstruck moment. you deserve to be here. You submitted your application. You went through the same qualifying experience as everybody else who's here. You went through the same program to get here. It's okay to be happy being here. They're not throwing you out. It's okay. It did take me a minute to kind of get there. You also want to separate your feelings from fact. And I think this is one of the most difficult steps, because just because you feel dumb or out of place doesn't mean you are dumb or out of place. So you have to identify what part is reality and what part is fiction, which part is coming from the feeling and which part is coming from fact. And I think addressing that and understanding that part of it is feeling and not necessarily factual is a huge part, or it plays a huge part in the owning it process. Again, expressing your feelings, talking to a friend or a colleague can be super helpful. It also helps to know that you're not alone. This is one of my favorite quotes. This quote, I have written 11 books, but each time I think, they're going to find me out now. I've run a game on everybody and they're going to find me out. That was written by author, poet, singer, dancer, actress, composer, director, 3-time Grammy Award winner, National Medal of Arts winner, winner of the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and civil rights activist Maya Angelou. No one is safe from imposter syndrome. Everybody experiences it at some point in their career. And knowing that people like Maya Angelou have looked around the room and thought, how did I get here? That's comforting to me to know I'm not alone. Neither are you. There are other people who are having that right now. So understand that you're not the only person to ever experience this. You do want to focus on the positive. Everybody makes mistakes and you need to forgive yourself. I think something that could be helpful with that is holding on to compliments. Go back and reread positive reviews or testimonials. Go back and read emails that thank you for your help, for your service, for your whatever service that you provided for them. Hold on to those compliments. It can be huge as far as changing your attitude and changing how you feel to make yourself feel more positive when you're feeling down. You also have to remember to be kind to yourself. Everybody's got that inner dialogue. How are you talking to yourself? And this was a real aha moment for me. If you would not say the same things that you say to yourself to a little kid, you probably shouldn't be saying them to yourself. If you wouldn't berate a 6-year-old for being an idiot, and I don't know many people who would do that, you shouldn't be talking to yourself like that. Stop telling yourself that you're wrong. Stop telling yourself that you're an idiot. Think about how that internal dialogue sounds. And even if you can't get to the compliment stage yet, just stop being negative, or even rephrasing it can be very helpful. You have to be aware. Those positive affirmations really work. You can't look around and think, oh man, everyone is brilliant and I'm not. You can look around and rephrase that with, man, everyone is brilliant and I'm going to learn a lot. Something that helps me, and I think this is cyclical. So something that helps me when I'm feeling down, I go re-listen to the book, You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. It really changes my internal dialogue and makes me feel like I can totally do this. How do I know I can do this? Because history says that I can. This is my 15th year this year as a business owner, and we're still growing and we're still moving right along. History says I can. I just sometimes have to remind myself that I can. Visualize your success and celebrate it whenever possible. A common trait among people who are millionaires and Olympic medal winners and people who are successful in their business, they imagine where they want to be. Some people create vision boards. Some people write their goals down. It's different people do it in different ways, but you do need to visualize your success and really celebrate it when you hit those milestones. If you are wanting to achieve this sales goal, or if you're wanting to achieve this number, as you tick off those milestones, celebrate that. Celebrate it alone, celebrate it with your team, pat yourself on the back, remind yourself that you're doing a good job. There's a song that they play on TikTok that I get in my head when I feel like I've done a good thing that I can't repeat here. But do what you need to do to pat yourself on the back and make yourself celebrate those moments. And when all else fails, fake it till you make it is a real thing. You don't have to wait until it's perfect. Do it now. Don't wait to lose 10 pounds. Don't wait until you're dating. Don't wait until you've been in business a year. Do whatever it is you're putting off. Do it now. You don't wait until you feel confident. Start putting yourself out there. Courage comes from taking risks. Change your behavior first and allow the confidence to build. That's a quote from Valerie Young, who is the imposter syndrome expert. Don't wait. I've said this many times. My team has heard me say this many times. Done is better than perfect. It's better. And if you need evidence that we have actually practiced that in my professional career, go look at videos we made 2 years ago. Yikes. Go look at graphics I made. I go back and look because, Facebook sends you memories. I'll go back and look at graphics I made 10 years ago and cry a little on the inside. Some of that stuff is terrible to me now, but I was dang proud of it 10 years ago because I was doing it better than other people in my industry could do it. But things change. You grow. You learn. You celebrate when you hit those. Again, you celebrate when you get there. But until you get there, I am a huge believer in fake it till you make it. I am one of these folks that believes ignorance on fire is better than, lazy knowledge. If you want to do it, learn how to do it. If you want to do it, do it. So if you want to start that podcast, do it. If you want to write a book, do it. If you want to write a blog, do it. The only thing getting in your way really and truly is you. You just have to believe that you can. So if you guys are interested, I will include the link to Valerie's book in our comments, How to Deal with Imposter Syndrome. She actually has an article about it that's, of course, shorter. Excellent read if you have a few minutes and you want to check that out. Next week, our office will be closed. We will have a live Q&A for our 10 o'clock. So if you would like to join us and bring your questions, we're happy to hear those. And we'll have a whole new set of topics ready for, oh wow, we're already to April. That's shocking to me. This year is just flying by. Please let me know if there's anything you can do to help. You're always welcome to leave a comment or send us a direct message. And until next week, I'm Karen Taradas and I'm here to help. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us for the Social University podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media at Stay Social You. That's the letter U. And we will talk to you next week. Remember, you've got this.